sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me. Where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Make some time, take a family, ask a friend, but don't delay. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Good Saturday morning. Welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Oh, we're having too much fun in here this morning. With this, what do you call that thing?
It's staring at me.
It's staring at Greg in there now, and it has these eyes.
Heard of a jackalope? That's a werewolf.
That's a werewolf.
Yeah, a werewolf.
It is the most unusual thing. I'm going to post that on Facebook, and you'll try to distinguish whether that's.
We'll give it a name. That's why I give it a name.
Yeah, we need to give this a name.
There you go.
There it goes. Wow.
Couldn't afford a parrot.
Right.
Put that on my shoulder.
All right, we have Josie on the line here. We haven't gotten her yet.
Still trying to get through. I don't know what the issue is with Josie's phone. Trying.
All right, well, okay, that's the number I got for
Well,
Josie. And so, we keep trying because we want to talk to her. You can try Tracy Horn there and just to see where it is. But we're trying to hook up with Josie Fernandez. She is the park superintendent for the Hot Springs National Park, talking about centennial of the National Park Service. And
Everything's 100 today.
yeah, just
My dad's 100.
your dad's still
Centennial's.
yeah, he's 100 today.
Yeah.
Glenn is Mr. Glenn is 100 today. It's pretty amazing, and I'm still rocking along here. I feel 100 today. Wild game dinners are catching up on. We got one tonight. Bartlett Hills Baptist Church. Hope some of y'all can come out there and join us.
That's what amazes me. All the wild
Ellendale.
game dinners he goes to in
Yeah.
February.
He still weighs the same.
He never weighs. He never gained weight.
Well, I can't help it. I worry it off. I don't eat much of these things because, great time last night at LaBelle Haven Baptist Church. Wow, great facility they've got down there. Brother Jim Butler and all. It's a wonderful church, and there was a packed crowd there to hear me talk, and I really appreciate. Saw a lot of folks that I know. Saw one of the guys that won the 12 Days of Christmas was there, and he got that spotting scope. And so,
Oh, right, yeah.
But talking to Ron, last segment, we're talking. He's talking fishing and stuff, and there's the way the weather's breaking. It's warming up, and people's going to get the bug to go fishing.
well, already got the
today.
bug.
I already got the bug.
Yeah, got the
And
bug. Today's a
just-
good day too.
But be careful. Wear that PFD
Yeah.
out there, because that it might be 68 degrees air temperature, but that water's still in the 50s.
It is. So be careful out there. That's why you can go to the Wild Game Dinner, and you don't have to worry about that. So come to my Wild Game Dinner tonight, 4641 Ellendale Road, Bartlett Hills Baptist Church. Wayne Woods out of Wayne Woods out of Moultrie, Georgia. Excuse me, Wayne. We'll be speaking tonight. Doors open at 5. The vendors will all be set up, and the meal at 6 o'clock. And
You don't have buffalo?
I don't know what we're going to have.
Okay.
But we do have fish, which is a lot different than most wild game dinners I've determined now are just wild game dinners. We are fish also, and has some prizes to give away. But Wayne Woods is a great outdoorsman, and he's going to come speak tonight. The Trinity had a great one on Thursday night, Trinity Baptist. Last night again out at LaBelle Haven. We're starting to kind of wind them up a little bit here. We've got a few more in March, but they're wonderful events with good food. I know the TWRA will have a booth out there this afternoon at mine. Jeff Peach was out there, so we're really looking forward to that. All right, let's talk national parks. So with us right now on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and we're really privileged to have as our roll into our 16th year on the air is Josie Fernandez. She is the park superintendent at Hot Springs National Park. Good morning, Josie.
Good morning, Ray.
Thank you for
Larry.
Yes.
Sorry, I was saying Ray.
No,
Good
that's
morning.
okay.
So happy to be on the air with you.
He'll answer about anything.
I'll
long
answer
as you feed him.
anything. Yeah, particularly when we're talking about Hot Springs National Park, because that's the first park. I grew up in Arkansas. I even took the train down there with my folks. I can't tell you how many times I've been to Hot Springs National Park. And
so then you know what it feels to get in hot water?
I know what it feels, yes. I know where the bath rows and all these different kind of things. A great city, but I know this is a special year, the Centennial of National Park Service.
It is. The National Park Service was established in August 1916, but of course there were many national parks already in existence. In fact, Hot Springs National Park was set aside by President Andrew Jackson when Arkansas was not even a state. Now, our name in 1832 was Hot Springs Reservation, but technically we are the first national park site in the entire nation. So that's something for the entire area and the South to be proud of.
40 years before Yellowstone.
That is correct.
I mean, became the nation's first national park, but Hot Springs was part of the reservation. Was part of the bringing this about. And Hot Springs National Park, as I know, and as you say, is a gem. And you know, when we speak of gem, we're not thinking of Murfreesboro down the road there, where they start to find diamonds and things like that. Hot Springs is the gem of the national parks.
And the way that we figure it, the entire idea and concept of reserving for future generations something that is important for the nation was started here, and it really goes to earlier than 1832 when the legislation was signed. It was the people of the territory of Arkansas who recognized that these thermal springs were of such high quality that no one person or entity other than the national government should be protecting it. And so we're very proud of that little fact.
Park has 47 protected springs, piping water 143 degrees.
That is correct. And our water, the uniqueness of our water is that it has no taste, no color, no smell, and you could literally just gather it and drink it. Of course, you need to let it cool off a little bit if you're going to drink or bathe in it. But it is just wonderful, and we actually give away our number one resource to the public for free at a variety of collection points that we have throughout the park, where all you have to do is bring a container and collect the water and take it home with you.
Our listeners out there, and again, we're talking to Josie Fernandez, would like to know, Josie, how you got to be and how long have you been the superintendent there?
Well, I've been here since 2004. And I have a kind of a funny way of coming into the National Park Service. I'm a military veteran. I'm still in the Air Force Reserve, and I was working as a public affairs officer for the Hurricane Hunters, another gem in the South. This is the military unit in Biloxi, Mississippi, that flies reconnaissance missions to determine where the hurricanes are, so that we can have a nice, accurate forecast. So from Biloxi, I applied for a job with the National Park Service, and by a variety of different changes and opportunities, here I am in Hot Springs, and I just absolutely love it.
Wow. Well, I know you took a kind of unusual route to get to Hot Springs.
I did. I had to fly into hurricanes to get to hot water.
to be able to do that. And, you know, a lot of folks don't realize it, the history of Hot Springs. I mean, the Major League Baseball teams used to train there. I mean, Dizzy Dean.
In fact, the spring training began here when all of those ball teams would come down to rest and relax a little bit and take on the trails and exercise. That's the one point that sometimes is missed, that we have 26 miles worth of trails of different degrees of difficulty that people can use. And the idea to come to the springs primarily was pretty much the last resort that people had. They were sick. They couldn't find a cure anywhere.
That's right. They came
so
to
they
hot
would
springs.
come to soak in the water and also go through a very regimented physical program to get better, and indeed many people did.
And that's, again, we're talking to Josie Fernandez, Superintendent of Hot Springs National Park. You know, and Josie, I was looking at, you're going to have some special things here. National Junior Ranger Day, April the 16th, right?
Yes, and that is a very nice little program that we have going, and it, in fact, is a program that is nationwide. We have developed different activities, and we have a booklet for young people. About 9 to 13 years old, and if they complete 3/4 of the activities, and these are very easy things to do, we present them with a badge, and we swear them in as junior rangers, and we make a big deal about it because we want kids to learn as well as have fun when they visit a national park.
And, you know, it really surprised me that you're a memorial is in the works for National Park Ranger James Alexander Carey, who in 1927 became the first National Park ranger killed in the line of duty when he was shot by a bootlegger.
Indeed, that is one of those again facts that often get lost in all of the things that have happened here. But very sad. Ranger Carey was patrolling to ensure that visitors were safe and our resources were not compromised. And bootleggers shot him, and then it turns out to be the first National Park Ranger to die in the line of duty. And so on this centennial year, we want to commemorate him and his efforts and his memory.
There is so much Hot Springs has to offer folks besides the horse racing. I mean, I know I love the corned beef sandwiches at the track over there at Oaklawn, but one of those things is the national park itself, the city. It has an unbelievable history. You know,
well, the national park has all sorts of things that people can avail themselves of, but certainly the city of Hot Springs has many other things that people can enjoy. The lakes, the Mid-America Science Museum are two things that I would highly recommend.
Yes.
You already mentioned the racetrack.
Yeah.
There is also Magic Springs. Magic Springs and Crystal Falls is a very nice water park. When my children were younger, we sure went there and had a lot of fun and splashed around and enjoyed it. So there's a little bit of everything for everyone. Of course, we're the number one attraction in my estimation is Hot Springs National Park. But if people come, they can spend a whole week without repeating themselves.
And you've got 5,500 acres to explore. You've got
5,500 acres. We have a wonderful campground with 44 campsites. Almost all of them are full hookups. And from that park campground, you can get on our trail system and really enjoy yourself. Of course, you can dip a toe in the creek by the campground, or you can properly get a massage and a facial and soak in the thermal waters in our bathhouse.
Yeah.
And Larry, one more thing that is very interesting, most people don't know because it's fairly new. One of our bathhouses, which has recently been repurposed, is making beer and root beer using the thermal waters as their main ingredient.
Oh, my gosh. Now you got us going. We got to get out of here. Josie Fernandez, you can go to www.nps.gov/HOTP, right, Josie?
HOSP is the first two letters of hot and the first two letters of spring.
Got it.
HOSP.
Got it. Thank you, Josie. We'll stay in touch. Love your place and have a great day, okay?
You do, too. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. If you've already headed to Hot Springs. I don't know. We'll be right back.
Nice place.
All right.